All right, we're gonna work through these evaluates real quick. In one bag of Skittles, Mariah counted 32 purple Skittles out of the 128 total Skittles. If the ratio of purple Skittles to total Skittles is the same in all different size bags of Skittles, then which ratio could be the possible number of purple Skittles to total Skittles in another bag? So again, you're looking for purple Skittles to total Skittles, okay? And let's go ahead and write that. Purple to total in another bag. So what we're looking for is purple Skittles to total Skittles. We're looking for an equivalent fraction that would match up with that, okay? So my first thoughts and suggestions would be to simplify this because most of our fractions are smaller. We see this one is 32 to 60 on B, but we already know that it's 32 to 128, so that can't be true at all. So now we're just working with our smaller fractions. So let's see. If we simplify this, let's say divide both top and bottom by 2. Let's see what we get. We get 16. And then if we don't know 128 divided by 2, we can do it real quick. 6 groups and 4. So 16 over 64. And look, we've already found one right here. So our answer would be C. If we want to keep simplifying this, we want to try to get to 4 and see what 4 would be. If we divide by 4, this would give us 4 over, I believe that would be, let's see, 64 divided by 4, 1, 24, see, that'd be 16. So 4 over 16. So 4 to 1 is wrong, and then 1 to 32 is also wrong. All right, number 2. Laura has 4 red shirts and 12 black shirts. Which statement is true? Select 2 correct answers. So the ratio of red shirts to black shirts is 1 to 3. So they're saying red to black. Red to black. Our red is 4. This is 12. So we're saying, is our ratio of red to black 1 to 3? If we simplify this, we can divide by 4 here, 4 here. That gives us 1 and 3. So this one would actually be a true one. Okay, let's go to the next page. So I remember our ratio is 4 red, 12 black. 4 red, 12 black. So now we're looking for another statement that's true because it said 2. The ratio of red to black is 4 to 16. No, it's 4 to 12. So that can't be right. This one is wrong. And this one says 6 to 2. That's actually wrong as well. So now we're just working with these 2 here. So let's see. So this one says red to black, and it's 24 to 72. Let's see, can we turn this 4 to a 24? We can. Let's multiply it by, if we scale it up, this would be times 6 to give us 24. But let's try it on the bottom and see if that matches up to give us our proportion. 6 times 12 is 72. So this is our other correct answer. So we know that is our correct answer. We know this one is wrong because 4 to 12, if we were trying to get this to 20, we would have to do times 5. And if we did this times 5, that would give us 60. So it's 20 to 60, not 20 to 48. All right, Melissa can run 2 miles in 15 minutes. At this rate, how many miles can she run in 75? So remember when you set up these, you set up your proportion. So you got 2 miles. Remember to your units and order matter. And 15, this is minutes. And we're trying to figure out how many minutes. So put the minutes with the minutes. Here we go. So now we're trying to figure out what is our scale factor to get from 15 to 75. Okay, if we know our 15 times tables, we know that if we multiply 15 times 5, 25 here, that gives you 75. So this would be times 5. Whatever you do on the bottom, you got to do the same scale factor. So you end up with 10 miles for 75 minutes. So answer would be 10. All right. Number 4. Freddie asked 36 graders if they owned a dog or cat. 36 graders if they owned a dog, if they owned dogs or cats. Of the 30 students asked, 20 responded they have a dog. If Freddie asked all of the 156 graders at the school the same question, how many of them can be expected to say they own a dog? So you're going to use the same ratio to figure out for a larger number. So he said we got 30 total that he asked, right? And 20 said they have dogs. So now you're trying to figure out if he asked 150 total, right here, right, how many dogs would they say they have? So to go from 30 to 150, I know that's times 5, because 3 times 5 is 15, and you add your 0 here, 150. So you do the same thing on the bottom, times 5, right? So then you end up with 20 times 5, and 20 times 5 would equal, so that means x is equal to 100. And D is right there, 100. All right, let's keep it moving. Aaron traveled on his bike 60 miles in 4 hours. What is the relationship between the bike's distance traveled and the time? So you're trying to find what we call the unit rate. Now remember, the unit rate is when you're trying to find to a quantity of 1. Okay, so we got 60 miles, and you got 4 hours. I'm going to abbreviate. And you're trying to figure out what, see, all these say per hour, per hour, per hour. So you're trying to figure out how fast is he traveling in 1 hour. Okay, so again, you can see from here to here, we would divide by 4, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that is our scale factor. So 4 divided by 4. Or 6, now we need 60 divided by 4 to see what goes in that spot there. 1 group, 4, 2, 5, 20. So now that gives us x equals 15. So he's traveling 15 miles per hour. So your answer is C. All right. Remember, you can pause at any moment, stop, rewind, and all that good stuff. All right, our last question for here. We need to complete this table. So apples cost $13.75 for 5 pounds. They already told us that. It's right here, okay? So that's your given rate. So now they want you to fill in how much does 1 pound cost in this box. They want to know how much for $27, how many pounds would you get, and how much does 20 pounds cost. So what you would need to do is you need to find out the unit rate, but you can find out the proportions, right? So let's set up a proportion. I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to use these two right here to find out our proportion rate. So we got 1. This is pounds going to be on top, and cost going to be on the bottom, okay? So 1 pound, we don't know how much that costs. And then for here, we got 5 pounds. We know that costs 13. 75. So we know from here to here, they divided by 5, right? Okay. Now we need to do the same thing from here to here to divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Now we got to do 13.75 divided by 5. 2 groups, 10, subtraction, 3 left over, bring your 7 down, put your decimal up there. That is 7, because that is 35. 2, bring your 5 down, now you have 25, and you will be left with 5. So $2.75. So $2.75 for that guy there, okay? So now that we know how much that one costs, $2.75, we can also do something similar with finding our other two missing values here, okay? So let's see. Let's set up the proportion. We can use, I'll use a different color. Now we can set up the proportion with these two, okay? Let's see what happens here. So what we can do is we can put 5, 13.75 equals to 27.50, and remember what I'm doing is putting costs on the bottom and pounds on the top, and we don't know what this is, how many pounds you're getting. If you look at this, how do we get from here to here? If you do 13.75, you can also look at this and it looks like, it almost looks like it's double, right? So let's try it, times 2. That's 10, 15, 7, whoops, I forgot to put my 1, and 3, 37. Oh, no, it's not. It's 27.50. Sorry about that, guys. So there was no 1 there. All right, so it is 27. So this is times 2, right? So do the same thing to go from here to here, times 2. 5 times 2 is, so you're getting 10 pounds for 27.50. Now, we can do our last one as well. You can set up this proportion here. I'll do it down here. So you're going to have 10 pounds for 27.50 is equal to 20 pounds, and we don't know how much that costs. So remember, this is pounds, and this is cost. To go from 10 to 20, that's times 2 scale factor. We do the same on the bottom to figure that out. So we end up with 27.50. I'm gonna just use this 27.50 right here that I already have. So that's 0, 10, 14, 15, 4, 5. So it's $55. So I had 1, 2 decimals. I had to give me 1, 2 decimals there. So 55. So it cost us $55 for this one here. And that's it, guys. That is most of the type of problems you'll see. So again, if you need to go back over some of those, you will pause the video, rewind, and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go through some of these elaborate questions as well before we actually transition to some AI time. The house painter mixed 5 gallons of blue paint with every 9 gallons of yellow paint. So again, 5 gallons of blue paint with every 9 gallons of yellow paint in order to make his green. Which ratio of gallons of blue paint to gallons? It says which ratio of gallons of blue paint to gallons of yellow paint will make the same shade of green. So we're going blue to yellow. So blue, yellow. So he does 5 blue and 9 yellow. I want to know which one of those would match up with one of our solutions here. So we can look at, Let's see, does it match up with 30 to 45 to 54? When we go from here to here, that would be times 6. 9 times 6, is that 54? I believe it is. So that's potential, okay? Now 5, 9 equals 6 over 10. And there's no real way to scale this. Like, you can plus 1, but that you have to do multiplication or division, okay? So this one here, we wouldn't be able to scale from 5 to 6. You also can't scale from 5 to 9 simply. So I'm going to go ahead and say that one's out. Let's look at 5, 9, 10, 45. Scale here would be times 2. But here, if we did times 2, it would be 18 on the bottom. This is really times 5. So this is out. You got to use the same scale factor. And then the last one, 5, 9 equals 27, 15. Again, you can't really scale this really nicely here. 5 to 27 is not really a number that you could find. You can go to 25. That would be 5 times 5. But even if you did 9 times 5, that would be 45. So this one is out as well. So our answer is A. Jackie has 3 pairs of dress shoes, 4 pairs of sneakers in her closet, which could represent the number of dress shoes and sneakers in her closet. 3, so we're going to go dress, and this is sneakers. 3 to 4, okay? Now, they want to know which one of these is correct, which one could be correct. One way you could do is you can set these other proportions up. I'll show you a different way. You can simplify them to see if you get 3/4. So 75 over 100. If I divide this, both top and bottom, by 3, we're not going to do 3. We're going to do 25. 25. I don't know why I said 3. 75 divided by 25 is 3. 100 divided by 25 is 4. So this one is one of your correct answers. Now let's try 40 over 30. Okay. I can already tell that this isn't going to be accurate because it's improper and this one's proper, but we can do it. Divided by 10 divided by 10 is going to give us 4 over 3. Okay, so that is not correct. So remember, we got dress 3, sneakers 4. Dress 3, sneakers 4. All right, that's what we're looking for. So let's look at over here. We got 42 and 28. If we simplify this, we can use 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6, and 28 divided by 7 is 4. So you also can reduce that one more time. Divided by 2, 2. You could then get 3 over 2, but that's not correct. We need 3 over 4. Okay. Now we got 60 over 80. Divide by, I can say 20. 20, 40, 60, that would give us 3. 20, 40, 60, 80, 4. So here's another potential. And you can check the last one just to be safe. Okay, 21 over 7. You can divide both of these by 7. And that would give you 3 over 1. So also not true. Kendra plays soccer all year long. Last year, she won 35 out of 63 games. Which ratio compares the number of games she won to the number of games she lost last year? She won 35 out of 63. Oh, that's wrong. We didn't read it correctly. So first, that's her total games. So how many did she lose? She lost. How we figure that out is her total games minus the one she won. Okay. So that would be 8, right? 28 lost. So 1, 28 lost. So my first guess would see all these are lower, so we're just going to simplify this. If you divide by 7, 35 divided by 7 is 5, and 28 divided by 7 is 4. So it's 5 to 4 ratio. Here you go. Ratio of house cats to lions was 15 to 8. If you have 64 lions, how many house cats are there? Cats, 15. Lions, 8. Okay. So now if you have 64 lions, it says how many house cats would you have? Here to here, I know that's times 8 for my scale factor. Do the same thing for the top. So you end up with 15 times 8, 40, 8, 19, 11, 12, 120. 120 cats. A barrel contained 60 gallons of water. Water leaked out of the barrel at a rate of 5 gallons for every 3 days. Okay? A barrel has 60 gallons of water in it. It leaked out at 5 gallons for every 3 days. At this rate, how many days did it take for all 60 to leave the barrel? So 5 gallons and we want 3 days. 3 days. But you want to know how long it would take to get to 60 gallons. Okay? So we got to figure out how do you get from 5 to 60. Okay? But let's see. 5, what we can do is figure out what are we dividing by. So 1 here. So that's times 12. 5 times 12. If you didn't know, I just wanted you to work it out, but a lot of us know 5 times 12 is 60. So you have to do the same thing on the bottom. So that would give you 36. So it took you 36 days. The ratio of number of boys to the number of girls in the choir is 5 to 6. There are 60 girls in the choir. How many boys? Ratio of boys to girls. So there's 5 boys. I label every time so I don't mess up. And 60 girls. To go from here, 4 to 60, I know that it's time 15. If you don't believe me, work it out. And you're trying to figure out what's here, so you have to do 5 times 15. 5 times 15 is equal to 75. So we have 75 boys. All right. Offset is painting the bedrooms in her house a shade of pink. The pink paint mixture uses 4 cups of white, 3 cups of red. Offset wants to use 36 cups of red. Which proportion could she find? So you're not even solving it, you're just setting it up. So 4 cups white, 3 cups red is equal to, and she wants to use 36 red. So we're looking for something that looks like that. And that looks like, to me, here you go. So this one has 4 over 3 and x over 36. There you go. Look at the table below, showing miles traveled in various hours. Based on the information in the chart, what is the rate in miles per hour? So per hour, remember that unit rate. So what you're trying to do is figure out that miles per hour. The easiest way to do that is you divide. So 208, if you divide it by 4, or I'm using this one here, it's going to tell you how much is in 1 hour. So one rate, and what we're doing is 208, this is the proportion for 4 hours, is equal to, well, we can say on this side, so we have more room for our division, is equal to 1 hour and what's up here, okay? So here to here, it would be divided by 4. The same thing here. We got to divide this by 4. That's what we're doing there, okay? 28 divided by 4. Can't do anything with 2, but 5 for 20. Get 0, bring your 8 down, then that's 2. That's 8, and we're done. So 52 miles per hour. All right. The table shows the time Monique worked at and the amount of money she earned during 4 different weeks. Based on the information in the table, how much will Monique earn if she works 40 hours in a week? Okay. So automatically, the one I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose 20. The reason is I know that 20 is half of 40. So it's going to make our proportion real simple to solve. So 20 for our hours and 165 for, we'll put money. And we're trying to get to 40 hours. And how much money will that be? To go from 20 to 40, we know we're times 2. And do the same thing on the bottom. So 165 times 2, 10, 12, 13, 2, 3, 330. There it is. All right, so complete the table and answer the questions that follow Mrs. Brown's. Complete the following. Mrs. Brown takes her infant son to Kids Are Everything daycare while she is at work teaching. The daycare charges $120 for 1.5 days. So just remember that. And they told us right here, $120 for 1.5 days. So we're trying to get, fill in the rest of these blanks. So I can automatically look at this and know that from 1.5 to here, that's times 2, okay? So if I do the same here, times 2, that gives me 240, okay? All right, so now we can figure this out here. And now we can set up another proportion for the other 2. So what I would do is I would do 240 over 3, taking this one here, and then we're going to use this one here, and then we're going to have equals 1 over, we don't know. So here to here is divided by 3, so here to here would be divided by 3. So let's do that over here. 240 divided by 3. Nothing with 3, but you can do 6 here. 24. Oh, no, that's not 6. That's 8. Sorry, guys. That's 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 0. Bring your 0 down. 0, 0. So this is 80. $80 here. But look, we know from here to here, that's divided by 2 because that's cut in half. So come from here to here, you can divide this by 2. All right. So if we cut this in half, it would be 1/2. 1/2 cut in half is 1/2. All right. So now we can solve our last one. The last one we could set up in either one of our proportions. Let's do our 1. We can do 80 over 1, taking this one here, equals x over 7. So here would be times 7. And then you just do 80 times 7. I know 8 times 7 is what? 50, is that 56? So then you add a 0. There you go. And the rest you are going to be on your own. All right. And I'll check your answers.